We've all experienced it, right in the middle of something important, like a job interview or a first date, when suddenly our nerves take control, leading us into a whirlwind of sweaty palms and awkward stutters. It's like we're just passengers in our own bodies, completely at the mercy of racing hearts and chaotic thoughts. But what if I told you that some of the greatest minds in history, the Stoics, mastered the art of staying calm under pressure long before the word anxiety was even part of our everyday vocabulary? Today, we're going to explore their world and uncover strategies that don't just help you survive life's pressures, but thrive through them. So, if you've ever felt overwhelmed by your emotions or reactions, stick with us. These insights could change the game. We're about to take a journey back in time to discover how you can harness ancient Stoic techniques to remain in control of your emotions and actions, no matter what life throws at you. If you find this helpful, make sure to hit the like button and share it with someone who could benefit. Let's dive in. Habit 1. Understanding emotions. Think of your emotions as a well-meaning friend who sometimes doesn't know when to step back. They're not your enemy. Rather, they're essential signals that help you navigate challenges, celebrate achievements, and deepen connections with others. But if we don't learn to manage them, these emotions can easily overpower our logic. Thanks to our brain's ancient wiring, a system developed for a much different lifestyle than we live today. Consider it this way. When an emotion kicks in, it's like an alarm bell ringing in your brain. A loud, urgent sound that doesn't care if you're in the middle of something important. This alarm can go off before your rational mind has a chance to even begin to process it, often leaving you feeling overwhelmed and out of control. But here's the key. You're not at the mercy of this internal alarm system. This is where Stoicism comes in. Stoicism teaches us that it's not the emotions themselves that need to be controlled or suppressed, but rather our reactions to them. It's about understanding that while we may not be able to control when or how strongly an emotion strikes, we do have the power to decide what happens next. The goal isn't to become emotionless, but to develop the skill to pause and choose a response instead of simply reacting. How do we do this? It begins with awareness. By recognizing the triggers and signals of our emotions, we can start to anticipate and understand them better. This process doesn't happen overnight. It requires practice, patience, and some introspection. But by seeing these emotional signals as informative rather than directive, we gain the chance to take control and guide our responses in ways that align with our values and goals. By mastering this, we not only enhance our own lives, but also create a foundation for healthier relationships, better decision-making, and a more fulfilling life. Habit 2. Stoic views on emotions. The Stoics believe that emotions stem from our judgments about the world. For example, if you interpret being interrupted in a meeting as a personal insult, you're likely to feel anger. Here's where Stoicism offers a powerful insight. It teaches us that by changing our judgments, we can change our emotional responses. This doesn't mean denying what we feel, but instead questioning the assumptions behind those feelings. Consider Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, who faced immense challenges like political intrigue, war, and plague. He famously said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." His message was clear. External events don't have to dictate our internal state. We can choose our responses, and in doing so, we find growth and freedom. Another Stoic philosopher, Epictetus, emphasized that it's not what happens to us, but how we interpret those events that shapes our emotional reactions. It's not things that upset us, he said, but our judgment about things. This shift in perspective is empowering because it puts control back in our hands. While we may not be able to control the initial spark of emotion, that gut reaction, we can control what happens next. We can pause, reflect, and choose not to follow a negative emotion that's based on faulty assumptions. The Stoic approach is more than just theory. It's a daily practice. The Stoics employed techniques such as the premeditation of future hardships, or premeditatio malorum, to reduce the emotional impact of unforeseen challenges. By considering potential negative outcomes, they prepared themselves to face difficulties with a calm mind. This exercise isn't about pessimism. It's about building mental resilience to stay steady, no matter the situation. Stoicism invites us to view life not as a series of emotional upheavals, but as opportunities to develop strength, resilience, and inner peace. By adopting a Stoic mindset, we learn not only to withstand life's trials, but to approach them in ways that deepen our understanding of ourselves and our abilities. Habit 3. The power of choice. Now that we know our emotions stem from our judgments rather than the events themselves, let's explore the profound Stoic principle of choice. This isn't about choosing what happens to us. That's often beyond our control, but choosing how we respond. In that choice lies our freedom and power. The Stoics teach that between the stimulus and the response, there's a space, and in this space, we have the power to choose our response. This idea is incredibly empowering, as it means that no matter what life throws our way, we hold the final say on our reaction. Whether it's a rude comment, a financial setback, or a personal loss, our emotional response is something we can choose. Picture it this way. Life is like a complex dance where events come at us in quick succession, and our emotions can flare up just as quickly. But like a skilled dancer who decides each step on the floor, we can decide how to move with, around, or away from our emotional impulses. This doesn't mean ignoring our feelings. Rather, it's about acknowledging them and then choosing a response that aligns with our values and long-term goals. To make this practical, the Stoics emphasized the concept of prosochi, or mindful attention. This means being fully aware in the present moment, noticing our emotional triggers as they arise, and consciously choosing our response. Through mindfulness, we can widen the space between stimulus and response, allowing us to act with wisdom rather than impulsiveness. This power of choice is what enabled Stoic philosophers like Seneca to remain calm during extreme stress. Seneca recommended rehearsing worst-case scenarios in our minds, not to dwell on them, but to lessen the shock of actual challenges when they come. By doing so, we become less reactive and more deliberate in our actions. Embracing this Stoic approach helps us build resilience. Resilience doesn't come from avoiding challenges, but from facing them with clarity and determination. Each time we choose a response that aligns with our goals, we strengthen our ability to handle future challenges with even greater effectiveness. Habit 4. Techniques for action over emotion. As we dive further into Stoic practice, it becomes clear that simply knowing you have a choice isn't enough. You need effective strategies to exercise that choice wisely. Here are some time-tested techniques from Stoic wisdom to help you choose action over emotion, turning potential turmoil into triumph. One powerful technique is the simple act of pausing when an emotion flares up. Imagine you're in a heated discussion. Instead of reacting instantly, give yourself a moment. This pause acts as a buffer, allowing your rational mind to process the situation. In this brief interlude, identify the emotion. Is it anger, frustration, fear? Acknowledging what you feel can lessen its intensity, making it easier to respond thoughtfully instead of reacting impulsively. Another Stoic strategy is to reframe your thoughts about the situation, a practice known as cognitive reframing. This involves shifting your perspective to view the event differently. For instance, if someone cuts you off in traffic, instead of getting angry and assuming they did it on purpose, consider alternative explanations. Maybe they're rushing to an emergency. Changing the narrative around the event can alter your emotional response, helping you stay composed and even empathize with others. Values-based decision-making is another Stoic cornerstone. Here, you base your actions on core values not on fleeting emotions. Ask yourself, does reacting with anger align with my values? What would the best version of myself do? By aligning your actions with your values, you ensure that your responses reflect the person you aim to be, rather than a temporary emotional state. Emotional acceptance is also essential. This doesn't mean resigning yourself to feeling bad. Rather, it means acknowledging your emotions without judgment or immediate reaction. Acceptance lets you understand your emotions better and manage them proactively. It's like observing clouds passing in the sky. Notice them, but don't get swept up in the storm. Each of these techniques isn't just about handling one emotional moment. They're about cultivating a life where you consistently choose actions that reflect rational, reasoned decisions. Practicing these strategies regularly can turn them into habits, fundamentally reshaping how you relate to your emotions and the world around you. As you integrate these techniques into your daily life, you'll find that not only do your emotional responses become more balanced, but your overall sense of well-being improves. This allows you to live more fully in alignment with Stoic principles, building resilience and inner peace along the way. Habit 5. Benefits of choosing actions over emotion. When we consciously choose our actions, aligning them with rational thought rather than fleeting emotions, we develop an inner stability that others notice and appreciate. This stability makes us more reliable and trustworthy in personal relationships. As we become seen as pillars of strength, loved ones know they can rely on us emotionally, which can deepen bonds. In moments of conflict or tension, rather than escalating situations with impulsive reactions, we contribute to resolution, enhancing the quality and depth of our connections. Professionally, the ability to remain calm under pressure is invaluable. While emotions can run high in the workplace, maintaining composure sets leaders apart. This isn't about suppressing emotions, but managing responses in a thoughtful, constructive way. Decisions made in this state are often more strategic and lead to better outcomes, demonstrating a level of leadership that earns respect and inspires others. Choosing actions over emotions also builds personal resilience and mental toughness. The Stoics believe that our greatest challenges are opportunities for growth. Facing difficulties with calm composure helps us prepare for future stresses with greater ease, which can significantly improve our overall well-being. It reduces anxiety and depression, increases life satisfaction, and means we're not just reacting to life's challenges, but actively shaping our journey through them. Another important benefit is the development of self-awareness and self-regulation. These skills help us recognize our emotional triggers and manage them effectively. This awareness also extends beyond ourselves, enhancing our empathy and understanding of others' emotions. With this insight, we can navigate social interactions more skillfully, adapting our responses to suit different situations and personalities. Practicing action over emotion gives us the tools not just to survive, but to thrive. By embodying Stoic principles, we don't just go through life, we grow through it, continuously improving ourselves and positively impacting those around us. Habit 6. Overcoming challenges. Mastering your emotions and consistently choosing rational actions over impulsive reactions is a significant undertaking that demands dedication, patience, and resilience. Stoicism teaches us that this journey comes with many obstacles that test our resolve and our ability to apply philosophical principles to real-life situations. One of the first challenges we face is the intensity and immediacy of emotional reactions. Emotions are powerful and can surge unexpectedly, often fueled by deep-seated habits and instincts reinforced over a lifetime. The key here isn't to suppress emotions, but to acknowledge them without letting them control our actions. This requires a high level of self-awareness and the ability to pause and reflect in the heat of the moment, a skill cultivated through consistent practice and mindfulness. Another major challenge is maintaining consistency in applying Stoic practices. It's one thing to stay calm in a controlled setting, but it's another to do so in times of stress, adversity, or crisis. The Stoic practice of premeditatio malorum, which involves mentally preparing for potential difficulties, can help. This exercise builds mental resilience by familiarizing us with adversity before it happens, reducing shock and discomfort when challenges arise. A third challenge is dealing with skepticism, both internal and external. Internally, you might wonder if Stoic principles truly make a difference when facing real-world problems. Externally, peers or societal norms may question the value of emotional regulation, viewing it as unnecessary or overly philosophical. Overcoming this skepticism requires demonstrating the practical benefits of Stoic practices, not just in words but through actions. By embodying the calm, rational, and resilient traits promoted by Stoicism, we show both ourselves and others the effectiveness of these practices. Integrating Stoic principles into daily life also has its hurdles. The fast-paced modern world often emphasizes quick reactions and emotional expression. Setting aside time each day for reflection, through journaling or meditation, can anchor us in Stoic principles, turning abstract ideas into practical actions and gradually weaving Stoicism into our everyday lives. Overcoming these challenges requires a strong commitment to self-improvement and a thorough understanding of Stoic philosophy. It's about embracing the process, knowing that each obstacle is an opportunity to practice and strengthen Stoic virtues. By persistently applying these principles, we don't just overcome challenges, we grow stronger and more capable with each step forward. Habit 7. Real-life applications. Let's consider a typical workplace scenario. You've poured your heart into a project, but during the presentation, a colleague interrupts with criticism that feels unfair. The immediate impulse might be to defend your work aggressively, allowing irritation or anger to dictate your response. However, applying Stoic principles, you could pause and acknowledge your emotional reaction without acting on it. Instead of snapping back, you might calmly ask for specific feedback that could improve the project. This approach not only preserves professional relationships, but also enhances your reputation as someone composed and receptive to feedback, even under stress. Now imagine a personal situation, like a conflict with a partner or family member. Emotions can escalate quickly in familiar settings, turning minor misunderstandings into major conflicts. A Stoic approach would involve recognizing emotional triggers as they arise and consciously choosing to respond with understanding rather than reactivity. This might mean taking time to listen actively to the other person's concerns without immediately reacting or trying to fix the problem. Such a response promotes dialogue and understanding, resolving conflicts in a way that strengthens relationships rather than weakening them. Stoicism also plays a key role in personal development, such as in maintaining a fitness routine or sticking to a diet. It's easy to give in to momentary impulses, skipping a workout because you're tired or indulging in an unhealthy snack. Stoicism teaches us to focus on our long-term goals and values, rather than succumbing to short-term comforts. By applying Stoic discipline, you can remind yourself of the reasons behind your choices, reinforcing your willpower to act in accordance with your greater good, rather than giving in to momentary desires. Moreover, Stoicism can profoundly impact resilience and mental health during times of crisis or sorrow, such as a financial setback or the loss of a loved one. The Stoic practice of focusing on what we can control, our responses, values, and actions, becomes invaluable. While it's natural to feel grief or stress, Stoicism helps us navigate these emotions without letting them overwhelm us. We learn to accept our reactions as part of the human experience, but not let them define our actions or character. In each of these scenarios, the real-life application of Stoicism doesn't involve suppressing emotions or pretending they don't exist. Instead, it's about making a conscious choice not to be governed by them. This approach doesn't just help in isolated incidents, it cultivates a life of purpose, integrity, and wisdom. Habit 8. Scientific backing. One of the core Stoic practices involves regulating emotional responses, which aligns closely with what psychologists today call emotional regulation. This isn't about suppressing emotions, but rather managing how we express and respond to them. Research in emotional regulation shows that people who can effectively manage their emotions tend to have better mental health, higher life satisfaction, and stronger relationships. These findings support the Stoic idea that mastering our reactions can significantly improve our well-being. Neuroscience also provides insights into why Stoic practices are effective. The brain's prefrontal cortex, which is responsible for higher-order thinking, plays a key role in managing emotional reactions that originate in more primitive areas of the brain, like the amygdala. When we practice Stoic techniques such as mindfulness or cognitive reframing, we're essentially training the prefrontal cortex to take charge in emotional situations. This process strengthens our neural resilience, making it easier over time to choose reasoned responses instead of reacting impulsively, even in stressful situations. Additionally, the concept of neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to reorganize itself by forming new neural connections throughout life, further supports Stoic practices. Every time we apply Stoic techniques, we reinforce the neural pathways that support these behaviors. This is similar to building muscle through regular exercise. The more we practice Stoicism, the stronger our emotional regulation muscles become. Research also shows that consistent practice in mindfulness and reflection, key components of Stoicism, can lead to changes in brain structures associated with awareness, empathy, and stress reduction. These findings underline the value of Stoic practices in enhancing emotional intelligence and overall mental well-being. Beyond the psychological and neurological benefits, there is evidence from behavioral science that supports the Stoic focus on habit formation. Habits are fundamental in shaping our behaviors and outcomes. Stoicism teaches the importance of developing virtuous habits through repeated practice, which aligns with behavioral science research that demonstrates how habit formation leads to sustained behavioral change. This is essential for long-term personal growth and fulfillment. By understanding the scientific principles that underpin Stoic practices, we can appreciate not just the philosophical value of Stoicism, but its practical benefits in modern life. Stoicism provides a framework for not only enduring life's challenges, but for thriving in them. Supported by growing scientific evidence that these ancient techniques foster resilience, happiness, and a deeper sense of life satisfaction. Habit 9. Daily practices for implementation. One of the most effective daily practices is the discipline of mindfulness. This involves dedicating time each day to focus on the present moment without judgment. You can begin simply by spending a few minutes each morning or evening reflecting on your thoughts and feelings. This practice creates mental space around our reactions, allowing us to respond to life's challenges with composure rather than impulsivity. While mindfulness can be cultivated through meditation, it can also be practiced throughout the day, while eating, walking, or even during conversations, by being fully present and attentive. Journaling is another powerful tool in the Stoic toolkit. Keeping a daily journal helps you reflect on your experiences and the decisions you made throughout the day. It's a chance to evaluate what went well and what could be improved. This reflection isn't about self-criticism, but about self-improvement. Write about instances where you successfully applied Stoic principles and times when you didn't. Over time, you'll start to see patterns and identify areas where you might need to focus more effort. Visualization is a practice often used by athletes, but is equally valuable in Stoic practice. Each morning, take a few minutes to visualize how you will face the day's challenges with stoicism and grace. Imagine handling a difficult situation at work with calmness, or resolving a dispute at home with compassion and rationality. By mentally rehearsing these scenarios, you prepare yourself to act in alignment with your values when the actual situation arises. Another daily practice is to set clear intentions for the day. Which Stoic virtues do you want to embody today? Whether it's courage, justice, temperance, or wisdom, choose your focus and remind yourself of it throughout the day. This intention setting helps guide your decisions and interactions, making it easier to live up to your Stoic ideals. Finally, practicing gratitude is essential. The Stoics believe that to be happy, we must appreciate what we have, rather than lamenting what we don't. At the end of each day, reflect on 3 things you are grateful for. This could be something simple like a warm meal, a conversation with a friend, or something you accomplished at work. This practice shifts your focus from what's going wrong to what's going right, fostering a sense of contentment and well-being. These practices are not just exercises. They are transformative processes that, when incorporated into daily life, forge more resilient, thoughtful, and balanced individuals. They ground the lofty ideals of Stoicism in the reality of everyday experience, enabling us to live more fully and react more thoughtfully, no matter what life throws our way. Habit 10. Practice these 10 daily Stoic habits. 1. Mindfulness training. Cultivate a daily mindfulness practice by dedicating just 5 minutes each morning to sit in silence, focusing on your breath, and observing your thoughts without attachment. Over time, you can increase this to 20 minutes or more. This practice will help you stay present in your daily activities and reduce reactivity to stressors. 2. Emotional log. Keep a daily record of strong emotions you experience, the situations that triggered them, and how you chose to respond. By documenting these instances, you gain insights into your emotional patterns and triggers, enabling you to manage them more effectively over time. 3. Deliberate exposure to discomfort. Regularly expose yourself to discomfort, such as by taking cold showers, fasting, or engaging in strenuous physical activity. This strengthens your resilience and teaches you to remain composed even in challenging situations, helping you develop fortitude and act in alignment with your Stoic values. 4. Visualization. Spend a few minutes each day visualizing how you will face and overcome daily challenges with composure and adherence to your Stoic principles. This mental rehearsal prepares your mind to act in accordance with your values when challenges arise. 5. Daily intention setting. Identify a daily intention or catalyst, a single, impactful action that aligns with your values and brings you closer to your goals. For example, you might choose to be particularly generous with your time or patient that day. Acting on this intention will create a ripple effect of positive actions throughout your day. 6. Micro decisions. Throughout the day, be conscious of small decisions you make, from what you eat to how you respond to emails. While these choices may seem insignificant, they accumulate and shape your character and destiny. Making deliberate decisions strengthens your ability to consistently align your actions with your values and goals. 7. Gratitude slam. End your day by articulating 3 things you're grateful for. This practice shifts your focus from what went wrong to what went right, helping you recognize and appreciate the positives. It fosters contentment and resilience by training your mind to focus on what is good in your life. 8. Weekly feedback loop. Seek feedback from a trusted friend or mentor about your behavior and reactions each week. This will help you see blind spots in your character that you might otherwise miss. This habit encourages humility and openness, promoting personal growth and accountability. 9. Emotion-action split. When you feel a strong emotion, take a moment to pause, name the emotion, and then choose a rational response. This breaks the automatic link between feeling and reacting, allowing you to respond thoughtfully rather than impulsively, leading to more effective actions. 10. Daily philosophical reading. Dedicate time each day to read a page from a Stoic philosopher, such as Marcus Aurelius's Meditations or Epictetus's Enchiridion. These readings provide daily inspiration and reinforce Stoic principles, nourishing your mind and fortifying your resolve to live according to your values. Underscore 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 underscore. These 10 habits are not just activities, but gateways to transforming your life in alignment with Stoic wisdom. As you integrate them into your daily routine, you'll find that they not only enhance your ability to manage challenges, but also enrich your life with greater peace, purpose, and fulfillment. Each day offers a new opportunity to practice these habits, each a step toward mastering the art of living well. Thank you for joining us today in exploring Stoic wisdom. Remember, every day is a new chance to strengthen your mind and live a life of purpose and resilience. Keep exploring and continue your Stoic journey to deepen your understanding and practice.